Hello, my friends. I am so excited to see you. We have a very special interview going on today. Today, Amy Porterfield is in the house, and I'm really, really excited to have her here. We're going to be talking about what it really takes to add a profitable digital course to your existing business, what works, what doesn't. And if you have an online course that you've launched without much success, like me back in 2021, or maybe you want to create an online course, but you have no idea where to start. This interview today is for you. And we have a super fun announcement you are not going to want to miss. But first, just in case this is the first time we've ever met, I am Tracy Beavers. I am a business and sales coach in Arkansas with over 20 years of experience in marketing, sales, and business growth. And I have helped hundreds of entrepreneurs just like you get visible so you can grow your audience and grow your email lists. Amy is someone I have considered a mentor for years now. If you have followed me for any length of time, you know that I love to share her podcast episodes. You know I've shared the inspiring quotes that I hear from her, like keep it simple, get fancy later. She is the person that inspired me to create all of my list building strategies and then package them up into my very successful 8-week group coaching program, Business Visibility Made Easy. Without her program, Digital Course Academy, and her step-by-step processes, I would not be having 5-figure months like I have now that I've added those digital programs to my business model. So let me introduce her to you. Amy Porterfield is an online marketing expert and host of the top-ranked Online Marketing Made Easy podcast. I love it. You should download it. She teaches entrepreneurs just like you and me how to build a business and a life that we're going to love, not only through her podcast, but also through her book and her best-selling courses. Her teaching style is so much like mine because she takes complex strategies and breaks them down into step-by-step, digestible, roadmap style, easy to follow actions so that no matter if you're just starting out, you're day one, hour one, or you're several years into building your business, she teaches in a way that we can all have success. Amy, welcome in, and thank you so much for gifting us your time today. Is there anything you want to add to that intro?
No, that was fantastic, Tracy. Thank you so much for having me.
You're so welcome. I am excited about this interview for a number of reasons, but the biggest one is what we share today has the ability to completely change the trajectory of my audience's business models and their income. Now, I know that sounds a smidge dramatic, everybody. I get it. But listen, you guys, your wheels are going to be turning so fast by the end of this. And I guarantee you're going to say, oh my gosh, she's right. And I want you to comment when you have that aha moment. All right, so let's dive into the questions because I've got so many. Okay. Amy, my audience is a mix of online business owners that have created an online course but haven't found success launching them, and those that want to add an online course to their business, but they're just really not sure where to start. So if somebody already has a successful business, what are some of the reasons why they would want to add a digital course to their business model? And what are some of those benefits?
Okay, so if you already have a business and let's say you are a one-on-one coach or a consultant, or you have a service-based business and you want to expand, make more money, bigger impact, digital courses are the perfect next step. It's an additional stream of revenue, but here's really why I started to create courses in my own business 14 years ago. And then over the years started teaching people how to do it because I got so many questions. So it started with me wanting more freedom. I wanted to do what I wanted to do, how I wanted to do it, where I wanted to do it. And I didn't want to be tied to one-on-one work, which I was doing at the time.
Yeah.
And so for me, I wasn't really good at the one-on-one coaching and consulting. I didn't know how to set boundaries and I said yes to everything. So looking back, I could have made that better. But some people listening right now, they love the one-on-one work. It's just that they know they're trading time for dollars. They're only going to make so much money and so much impact. One-to-one, there's a lot of other people that don't get to enjoy or experience your value.
Yes.
And so adding a digital course as an additional stream of revenue, it does a few things. Number one, it will allow you to move away from just the one-on-one work if you want to continue to do it, but also have an extra stream of revenue. Now you're able to reach people in other countries, in other states, in other areas, which is a really big deal to grow your audience. Number two, you are able to, if you want to keep the one-on-one, continue to do that, charge more, and become a little bit choosier on who you work with. I think any one of us that does one-on-one work, we've always had a few clients that we would like to fire. I mean, if we're being really honest, and we don't have to say it out loud, but
Right.
you can now be choosier on who you work with on that one-on-one or consulting or service-based business, so that you can then focus on the revenue coming in from the course as well. So these two streams of revenue, it opens up doors. Also, a digital course, let's say if I'm speaking to those that maybe don't even have anything yet in their business and they want to build their business with a digital course puts you on the map as a go-to resource. If you ask anyone, I want to create a digital course, who are the experts who can help me? I guarantee my name will be at the top of the list. Not because I'm extra special, but because I have done this year after year. I create one course and I launch it over and over again, teaching people how to create and launch courses. So it puts me on the map. When you're known for something, now doors start to open. You get asked to speak on stage in your area of expertise. You get invited to the podcast to be interviewed. Opportunities come your way because people know what you're known for. So a digital course will put you on the map.
Love that. I shared last week in my live training that I had the epiphany after leaving corporate and not having any control over my time and money, that I built my business with one-to-one work, which I love and I still do. And I love my one-to-one clients. But I had an epiphany. I was like, I just really recreated a corporate structure on myself.
I had that same epiphany.
Oh my gosh, it's
Yes.
crazy. I couldn't believe, I was like, what in the world, Tracy? So tell me this, what would you say to somebody that wants to create that online course, but they're completely stumped?
Yeah.
And the other thought that they're having, because I had a conversation with one of my students about this about 2 weeks ago. She literally said to me, Tracy, I don't think I can move forward because I need more education and a certification. And I was like, whoa, hold on. So if they're stumped or they're feeling like they're not qualified?
Yes. I hear this a lot from my students. So this is what I teach. When you want to teach inside of a digital course, all you need is a 10% edge. A 10% edge means that you are 10% ahead of those that you serve. You've gotten results for yourself or for somebody else, a customer, a client, a dear friend, a family member. You've gotten results. You know how to do it. And now you're willing to lay out the roadmap and teach step by step how to do it so other people can get those results. That's the 10% edge. You don't need more education. You don't need fancy certification. You do not need more time. You already have a 10% edge. Everyone listening, you already have it, and you likely have it in a few different areas, both personally and professionally. When you start to think about what kind of course you'll create, I want you to look both personally and professionally at your life. Where do you have that 10% edge? Now, to identify it, you have to think, okay, what comes natural to me? What is easy for me? What do I do that people are like, how did you do that? Or they're impressed with your results. What have you done that's gotten you to make more money, have more happiness, have more wellness in your life? What is your 10% edge? Everyone has one, for the record.
Right.
And so that's the thing. You don't need more time or education. You already have what you need.
Right. So they just need to look back over their life, like you're saying, and think to themselves, what is it everybody asks me about all the time?
Yes.
Yeah, that's when I had the epiphany. Again, there's that word again. I guess it's the word of the day, to be a business and sales coach, because I was like, okay, wait a minute. People are always asking me, how are you so successful in sales? How do you get so much growth? And da 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 da. And I was like, okay, I can do this.
There's something here.
I love that.
That's the thing. If you feel like you don't have a 10% edge, text your family and friends and maybe some of your customers that you're good friends with. Say, what do you think my edge is? What do I do best? Where have I gotten results? Other people might see it in you that you don't see yet.
I love that so much. What would you say to somebody who was like me back in the summer of 2021, before I was introduced to you? I had created some online courses through a different program that I went through, and I did not have the launch results that I felt like I knew I could have. Like, what are some of those common mistakes that you see for people that maybe have already created it, but they're just like, why is this thing not out into the world?
Ooh, I love this question. So there's a few different reasons for this. And inside my program, I created this special troubleshooting document because we've all been there. I've talked about this a lot, but my very first digital course launch, I made $267 when I thought I would make $100,000. But I made many mistakes along the way. My first mistake is that 10% edge. I taught something that I actually had not had results in. I don't
Wow.
think you even need to be the expert of all experts in it. It's not that I wasn't an expert. That wasn't the case. It was that I didn't even get results. So I taught people how to launch a book using social media. I knew social media very well
Wow.
and could teach it. I had never launched a book in my life. So because of that, I didn't have the confidence when I started to sell. So not having that 10% edge, choosing the wrong topic for my course was my first mistake. And that I see a lot of my students make. The
Okay.
second thing is not having an audience. And so I wish there was a magic bullet that I could say, okay, this is what you need in order to grow your audience overnight. It doesn't work that way.
It does not.
No matter if you're launching courses, consulting, coaching, whatever it is, you have to have an audience online,
Yeah.
and social media is not enough. So, social media is a great place to start.
Yeah.
And it's also a great tool to use to grow your email list. But
Mhm.
at the end of the day, you have to have an email list. And if you listen to anything Tracy does, she also believes this. So this is nothing new to your audience. You've got to have an email list. And so I always teach while you're creating your course, you can also grow your email list. You could do both of them at the same time. Most people that come into my world do not have an email list yet.
Mhm.
And so this is something that we're typically doing while we're creating the course. But
Got it.
that is a huge piece. I also did not have an email list. So I didn't have a really engaged audience to sell to, which is why it
Mhm.
was crickets when I went to go to sell.
Got
So
it.
those are two mistakes I see made a lot. And then the third one is usually people are trying to make this perfect. Like, let's get this perfect. Let's not put anything out there until I've got the fancy equipment to record, the fancy microphone, the fancy camera. Let's make sure that every page looks great. And then they never actually get it out into the world.
Right.
I'm a big fan of B plus work. We
Yes.
don't need to have that A minus, A plus work. No one cares like we do about the fonts, the colors, the look of it. If we sound a little funny on camera or look a little different, no one cares.
No,
They
they don't.
want the value, give them the results they're looking for. So if
Right.
you allow yourself to put out B plus work, which is really good work, it's just not super polished all the time,
Yeah.
you're going to get more traction. The only difference between you and somebody else who has a thriving digital course and they're crushing it is they got it out there, they
Yeah.
tweaked it, they made it better, they kept experimenting, and they continue to do it. So that's the
Yeah.
only difference.
Amy, you're such a great example of this because and I teach this to my clients and students, our businesses are never fully built. So you
Yes,
can't wait for it to be perfect.
yes,
We're not building a McDonald's franchise that you
yes.
can build and be like, there it is. I mean, you're a prime example. Think over, I went back and listened to every single podcast episode. Don't laugh at me, but we had a long Florida trip and I had a lot of
Love
time in the
it.
car. And I was like, I'm gonna do this because I wanted to see the evolution of your business. And
Mm.
from where if you had waited for this to be perfect 14 years ago, we
Oh,
wouldn't be here right now,
we would not be here.
right?
It's so funny you said that. A woman was interviewing me yesterday and she confided in me and she said, Amy, I have to tell you, for years and years, I compared myself against your business. And what I realized is I was comparing my first year of business, which is what she was in at the time, to like my 10th year of business when she found me. And so you can't compare apples to apples in that kind of situation. But then she said, but then Amy, I stumbled across a YouTube video that you did 14 years ago. I had a short bob haircut, hardly any makeup, horrible lighting, really bad background, but I was making
Uh,
those videos. And
right.
if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be here today generating $85 million in course sales, helping 50,000 students. That would not be my story.
It
You
would not.
have to start somewhere.
Right. And if you could see my setup right now, my audience knows this. There is a stack of coffee table books
Yes.
here on this is the kitchen counter. It
Yes.
just happens to be a nice view. My son will walk through and go, Mom, you really need a studio. And I'm like, I'll get one someday, but this is working. I'm
This
fine.
is working,
This is
exactly. I
working.
absolutely, for years, worked at my kitchen table,
Yep.
for years,
It's my
and then
favorite
would get
spot.
mad at Hobie for walking behind me in a video like, "Do you not see I'm working here?" He's like, I'm trying to make breakfast. But yeah, it just kind of goes with the flow.
It does. So, having said that and about the evolution part, why is it important? I know the answer, but I want you to tell my audience. They need to hear it from you. Why is it important for us to not give up and to launch and relaunch before we decide this isn't working?
Great question. So this is my model. This is what I teach in terms of we're going to create one digital course and we're going to put the time and effort to make it great. Not perfect, but make it great. B plus work. And then we're going to take that course and launch it over and over and over again. Whether you want to do live launching, automation, I teach both to my students, but you've got to do it over and over again. And here's why. That first launch you do is not going to be nearly as successful as you want it to be. It happens every time. Many of my students have 5-figure, 6-figure launches right out of the gate, but everyone has like this big idea of what it should be, and you never totally measure up. But here's why you do it. That first launch is as much for you as the business owner, the marketer, the course creator, as it is for your students. You're learning what you're good at, what you're not good at, what works, what doesn't, where's the flow, where's it getting stuck, all of that. In that moment, you're learning to pivot and change things and figure out, well, if I'm not going to hit my goal, what do I need to do instead? Think fast on your feet. All things that you need as a marketer and entrepreneur. So that first launch, no matter what happens, you are learning and growing, no doubt in my mind. But then from there, we're not going to create a new course. We're not going to start from scratch. We're not going to start over. The beauty of growth in entrepreneurship is not starting from scratch, but optimizing and tweaking and making better what you've already done. So we're going to take that same course. If we need to tweak it, great. But we probably just need to tweak our marketing. We're going to get better at our webinars. We're going to write better email copy because now we understand our audience more. They shared stuff with us during that first launch that we can integrate into the next launch. Each launch, the goal is to get better and better, revenue higher and higher. And that's not going to happen if you just give yourself one chance.
Exactly. God, I love that so much. So my audience hears me say this so much, I sound like a broken record, but patience and consistency, I call the wonder twins of business success. And it goes along with exactly what you just said.
Yes.
So we have to be patient. We have to be consistent. We have to be willing to get in and stay on the field, like you like to say.
Yep.
So when someone has had a failed launch or two, and they're like, Amy, I don't think this is for me. I want to give up. What would you say to them to encourage them to keep going and to keep shooting for that success?
I would ask them, have we really studied what didn't work? Because what could happen is you could say, Amy, I launched twice. I didn't make as much money as I wanted to. So I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to say, okay, so this next thing you're going to do, how do we know that's even going to work? If we keep flip-flopping from this to that, you never really give yourself a chance to get good at something. The reason why I am so freaking good at doing webinars is because I have done hundreds of them. The reason why my email copy converts is because I've had many emails that haven't converted, and I've had to figure out what is my message, what is my voice here, how do I do this in a way that connects with my audience? And so sticking with something is the secret sauce, and also staying in your lane. So the reason why I am known at the top of the list for being someone who could teach you how to create a course and how to launch it is because I've stayed in my lane so long.
Right.
And so it doesn't mean that I don't experiment and try new things and get excited about new projects, but it's all under the umbrella of I teach people how to create and launch digital courses, period.
Right.
And a lot of people will do what they do, but get bored with it and want to try something new. I see it all the time. And this is why you get lost in the online noise, because you're not known for something. So I think the best thing to do, and the thing that is hard but worth it, is to stay in your lane and get better in that area versus continuing to try new things.
Right. Don't chase the shiny stuff.
No, for
Just
sure.
keep going. Yeah. So you've been in this online space now 14 years. And I could only imagine how many changes you've seen.
Yeah.
Can you share with us what's working versus what's not working now in terms of course creation and launching? Because I think it's even changed since 2020, if I'm not mistaken.
I think, I'd love to know what you've seen too, because you're in it and you've seen so many different launches. For me, what I've seen is that, first of all, you can't just create a course and post about it on social and drive traffic to a sales page. Years and years ago, that did work better.
Yeah.
It does not work like that anymore. People need to have a relationship with you, that know, like, and trust factor. And so I don't care if what you're doing, it's being done by 10 people. There's going to be an audience that wants to learn from you, but they have to be able to connect with you. And so having a sales vehicle before you send to a sales page is really important. So for me, it's webinars and what I teach inside my program, because I know webinars work. Now, the thing is, a lot of people are like, ooh, webinars, that scares me. I'm not sure if I want to do that. And you can keep them very simple. You don't have to be on
Right.
camera like we are right now. You can use slides and audio, but there's other things that are working right now as well. I do a boot camp every year. It's the cheapest thing that I offer. And I teach the basics of digital course creation to get people started. That boot camp is a great way for people to see my teaching style, what's included, what's involved in a digital course creation. And so that becomes a really big entry point for people. So I love boot camps. I love challenges. I love webinars, but they're necessary. At least one of those things is necessary before you're sending people to a sales page. So that's something that I think has worked well. I'm really curious, kind of, what's one thing that you've seen?
I completely agree with you about connections, genuine, authentic connections and relationships. And
Yes.
that is absolutely something I've seen in the last 2 years. And that, I believe, is what's made me very successful, because I have a great email list. They're engaged. My open rates are awesome. But I go back and look at the list of students that have joined my programs. It's because I've connected with them. I've invited them into, like, for me, my free Facebook group has over 2,000 online entrepreneurs in
Wow.
it. It is a wonderful, warm, kind, supportive, fun place for people to be and raise their hand and go,
Yes.
I'm stuck with XYZ. Who can help me? And somebody dives in and helps them. And then I'm in there helping where I can with list building and helping with them with visibility and going live every single week. And we're just sort of, I invite them in. It's an easy yes for them, because they can promote their offers anytime and they can network and they can make collaborations that are going
Love
to
that.
lead to growth. And then I'm in there and they're swimming in my content and they get to know me and they know, like, and trust me. And then they want to join my program. And so, for me, and you know this because we've talked about this before, paid ads was just a fail for me for a long time. But I think it's
Yeah.
because I didn't have the right conversions going on and relationships going on and all that. So for me, that's my focus, is those relationships and genuinely connecting and, talking to people and being like, This may be the answer for you or not, but let's talk about it.
I love that you brought that up. That connection is so important. Even when I teach inside of digital courses, I give all these different examples of how to connect with your students once they buy from you, which is
Right.
also so important to get people results. From
Yes.
Slack to Zoom office hours to Voxer to
Mhm.
Facebook groups, there's a lot
Yes.
of different things that you could choose from in order to make that connection. But
Mhm.
you make such a great point that the connection needs to be made before they buy. They need
Yes.
to know that you care, that you hear them, that you see them,
Mhm.
so that they will spend their money with you knowing that they can trust you. So
Exactly.
absolutely agree.
And one thing that I did in my fourth launch, the last one where I had the most success, and I did this in previous launches, but I had more people take me up on it, was free 15-minute calls.
Oh, yes.
And it didn't matter if they wanted to hop on the phone or they wanted to talk through Facebook Messenger or on Zoom. Didn't matter to me, because I wanted to know, I have to be able to sleep at night. I have to know that if you're going to spend, because my program's $1,000, if you're going to spend $1,000 with me, I need to know that I can get you that transformation and you're ready for it.
Yes.
Because I've been there and spent money on things that I wasn't ready for and I had no business doing, but I didn't have anybody to be honest with me and say, Tracy, you're not ready for this. And so I want to talk to them and find out, okay, what are you doing now? What do you have an email list provider at least? Do you have a landing page? Do you know how to use Canva? Are you ready for this? And that has made all the difference.
I love that. We do the same thing. When we open up our program, we encourage people to get on a call with one of my team members. And we do hundreds and hundreds of these calls.
Yep.
Just to, if you are not positive you're a good fit, I want to
Yeah.
make sure that when you join my program, you feel really confident that you're ready to go. And
Yeah.
so talking to someone before you make the decision, it's a beautiful thing. Again, that touch point really matters.
Yeah, and your team, that's one of the reasons why I joined Digital Course Academy, that and the fact that I've been following you for a while. Josh was on
Ah,
my info call, and he
Josh.
was so do you know that he used to live not far from me here in Arkansas?
Really? No, I did not know that. I didn't know you
Crazy.
lived in Arkansas ever.
Yeah, yeah, crazy. But
Ah,
when I talked to him, I knew he wasn't gonna try to convince me of anything,
oh, for sure.
and he
Because
was
that
like
stresses us out as my entire team will support you inside my program, including me. But if you're not right, now I'm stressed. Now
yeah,
I can't sleep at night because I know that person should not be in my program
right,
and I'm worried about them.
yeah,
I'm a natural worrier.
me too.
Yes, we really do want to make sure the right people are in the course.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's switch gears and talk about something really fun. What are some of the most off the wall, interesting, creative courses? 'Cause I know some of them and it cracks me up every single time you go over this list. But what are some of the things you're like, wow, that, somebody created a course about that?
It always blows my mind. So the one that always stands out the most, and I have many, but when I say all these, I want you to remember you can create a course in just about anything. There's people that want to know how to do what you know, even if it seems very wild or abstract. One of my favorites is a woman that created a course to help newborn babies potty train, meaning that they don't ever wear a diaper from the
Wow.
beginning, which is wild. But she has done such a good job with this. And for the record, it started because she had results for herself. She has a bunch of babies. She's got that 10% edge. Other moms wanted to know, how are you doing this? Show me your ways. And so she started to do that.
Yeah.
She created a digital course. She only works, I think it was something like 20 hours a week. So she's not even working full time.
Wow.
She is making incredible money with her course, but now she is certifying other people, teaching them what she knows so that they can go out and teach other people. So the
That's
opportunities
awesome.
start to open up when you have a course and you're known for something.
Nice.
That's one of the biggest benefits that's hard to explain until you're in it. So that's a wild
That
one.
is really wild.
Another one of my students, she teaches hula hooping. Who would have known how many people want to know how to hula hoop? She does really good with her course. And then also, this isn't a weird one, but I want to show the transition. One of my students, she was a financial banker. So she worked in a corporate banking institute, and that was her day job. But she loved as a hobby to do boudoir photography, like the sexy kind of photography. She
Yeah.
loved that. And so when she decided, I want to create a course, I eventually want to leave this 9 to 5 job and go into online business, she didn't create a course on corporate banking or finances or anything like that. Although she knew a lot in that area, she went for her passion, something she really enjoyed, which was the photography. And so
Nice.
you don't have to create a course just in your area of expertise. There's so many different things that you can do. But we have people that are training dogs, doing meal prep, showing you how to do a travel journal. That was a woman I just interviewed for my
Yes.
podcast.
Lisa.
She teaches people how to create travel journals, meaning you're traveling, you want to do watercolor, you want to draw, you want to write in your journal. So afterwards, you have this memento that you will never, ever forget what that trip's about. So
Yeah.
that's very different. And you think, does she have a big enough audience? Yes. When she puts herself out there, creates consistent content, and finds the right people, yes, she does.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Okay, we promised everybody at the beginning of this a special surprise.
Yes.
I got to share this. I'm so excited about it. So this is something you're offering right now. At the time of this is going to air. The registration opened yesterday. It is your Course Confident Boot Camp. I have been through this a few times, even though you guys, I'm a course creator. I'm having success with my launches. And here's why. When I have an opportunity to be in the room with Amy and her team, I grab it because there's more benefit that you can see just on the surface of attending a boot camp. Yes, you're going to learn things, but you're also going to be in the room with thousands of other entrepreneurs
Yes.
doing the same thing you are. You're going to get a bird's eye view from Amy of how she teaches and the strategy behind the boot camp and how her team runs things. I always come away with a fresh perspective on my business, new ideas like crazy. And being in that warm, kind, supportive boot camp environment is just, I mean, I can't even put a price on it. So tell us, when does it officially kick off? Like, what's the start date? And what are some of the key things that they're going to take away from this experience?
I'm so excited about this. So I only do it once a year. It's the cheapest thing I offer. It's $47. So it's very affordable. If you're even curious about a digital course, this is where you start. So I'm doing 5 live trainings. So I'm live in the group. You'll see my teaching style. You'll see the way that I lay out the content, and you're going to start making some decisions. Now, the trainings are live, but everything's recorded in case you can't make it live.
Right.
I'm going to start with your course idea, just making sure we have the right course that fits you and your business. From there, we're going to talk about validating that course idea and then taking that idea and deciding what type of course. There's 3 types of courses you can choose from. What type of course should I create based on my idea? Then we're going to choose the pricing for your course, do some really fun course math so you see what's possible. And for the first time, I'm going to show you how to use AI, Chat GPT,
Awesome.
to
Yes.
fast track your course creation process, something I've never been able to teach before because AI just came on the scene last year.
Yes.
And so now I get to incorporate it to fast track and make you more efficient to get your course up and running faster than I've ever been able to teach before. So I'm
Yes.
very excited about that. There's accountability. My team is in there. They will answer your questions. You will meet other people in the trenches with you. You will finally not feel alone in this, and you'll get inspiration from what other people are doing. So it starts on September 13th. That's when we're going to kick off the welcome party. And then everything's going to go really fast. So you don't want to miss it. And we have a fast action bonus. So if you sign up right away, I'm going to give you a bonus where I'm going to show you the 2 systems that I use, cannot live without, in order to get my course created quickly. So I'm going to add 2 extra systems for those who sign up right away.
That's outstanding. And to join the boot camp, everybody, it's only $47, which is a bargain when I think about not only how much forward motion I'm going to get toward my goals for my business, but also, like we talked about, how many other cool people are going to be in this group and community that you can support and they can support you.
Yes.
Just that energy alone. And there's a VIP option that I
Yes.
know you're offering. And tell everybody, what do you call your VIP students? I think it's the
So
best.
I call them my Vipers. It kind of just slipped out one day and I was like, this is a sexy name. So
Fun.
my Vipers, my VIPers, they get extra time with me. So we're doing Q&A. It will be a smaller group. So you get that engagement. And even if you don't have a question that day, someone's going to ask a question that you're going to think, oh my gosh, I'm so glad they asked that. I didn't even know to ask that question.
Yeah.
And so it's a really cool community. There's extra bonuses with my Vipers. So I'd love to see you there.
That's awesome. And I want everybody to know that I have a special bonus that I'm giving because I'm an affiliate for your boot camp.
Yep.
So I want everybody to go to tracybeavers.com/bootcamp to register. When you register and you pay your $47 or you upgrade to VIP, you are going to get a $97 course of mine. Write emails your subscribers will want to open so that we can get those open rates and those click-through rates sky high for you. So you spend $47, you're going to get $97 worth of stuff from me. It's a no-brainer.
It's no brainer. I didn't know you had a bonus. I love that you're doing that. And everything I teach in the boot camp, what you're going to teach about writing emails that people actually open up absolutely complements it. So it's a perfect connection.
Thank you. I'm really excited about it. I love to gift people things when they, when they support
Same.
me and they join through my affiliate link. It supports you, obviously, but then I just want to give them something.
Yeah.
So if we've got a few more minutes left, I want to ask you a couple of fun questions.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. So what is your least favorite thing about being in the online space?
Ooh.
And what is your most favorite thing about being in the online space?
So my least favorite thing would be probably social media. Not my most favorite. I do
Not
it.
me
It's
either.
necessary,
Yeah.
but
I
I could
agree.
live without it. I could live without it. And my husband would really love for me to put my phone down and not be on social media.
Are our husbands twins? Yeah, I think
Yeah,
maybe
right? So that's my least favorite. My most favorite thing about being an entrepreneur is the fact that I've been able to create a life by my own design. And what that means is I spend money the way I want to spend it. I give money to people the way I want to spend it. And I spend my time the way I want to spend it. Last year, I took an entire month off in June
Right.
just to be present with my husband. And we had moved to a new town and I wanted to be here. And I could never have done that with a 9-to-5 job. So the life I've been able to create has been the most favorite thing about being an entrepreneur. And that is why I love courses, the freedom it gives you.
Love it. Okay. And let's just pretend for a second that it's 2023.
Okay.
and you're just now starting out, like your day one, hour one, what would you do first?
Oh, I love this question. I would start creating original content. Speaking of social media, it's a necessary evil. I'd
It
start
is.
posting. I do videos and short posts and long posts, and I try different things on social media. But my personal message, what I believe, what I stand for, where I can add value, I'd start to just create that content, because when people engage with you, they'll tell you what they like and what they don't like, and it will start to steer you in the right direction of what you eventually want to create in your business.
Right. Oh, that is so valuable. Yes. Okay. So, Amy, thank you so much again. I feel like such a fangirl in this moment, but
Oh, geez.
thank you so much for gifting us your time today. I can literally hear my audience's wheels turning with ideas about how they can create and scale these offers and literally build that business that you and I have experienced, where they're not stuck with time, and they can explode their income growth. So, my friends, here's what I want you to do next. Join us. Amy, her team, and I cannot wait for the Course Confident Bootcamp to start. Registration opened yesterday. I want you to grab your seat, plan to be there, get ready to be inspired, buckle up, and plan the next phase of your business right alongside us, because that's the way she does things. She goes first and she guides us through. Go to tracybeavers.com/bootcamp, grab your spot, $47. You get my $97 bonus. And remember, you guys hear me say this every single week, don't go it alone. Being an entrepreneur is freaking hard.
It is.
Some days everybody wants to buy what you're selling, and other days nobody can remember your name. And if you think you are alone feeling that way, you are not. And I know Amy would say that you're not either, right?
Yes, for
All
sure.
right.
You're not alone. So this boot camp is a great time to meet your people, get into a community of other people doing the same things, understanding how hard it is, supporting each other. This is a great opportunity to not go at it alone.
Right. Because when one of us rises, we all rise.
Yes,
And that's why I love to cheer people on. And I know you do too.
for sure.
All right. Thank you so much, Amy.
Thank you, my friend. This has been such a delight. I really appreciate it. I'm so inspired by all that you've done. Thank you for being a part of our community, which you are a big part of it. So thanks again.
You're so welcome. I'll see you in the boot camp.